What's up everybody, Tech Chucker here, and today we're going to do a review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends Space Venom Wave Electro. Now, in this wave, I was never planning on buying this wave, but Walmart had it for an extremely good deal. Pretty much all of them were 10 bucks or under. So I had to have Electro and I had to have Hobgoblin. Let's take a closer look at this Electro. Alrighty folks, let's take a look at the articulation first on this guy. Basically this is pretty much the same as what we get with Pizza Spidey, which is pretty darn awesome. Take a look at the head first, and it's on a ball peg with a hinge, and he's got really, let's see if I can get this focused first. There, I think there we go, that's better. Alright, so he can look all the way up, and that's really, really awesome. And then he can get his chin all the way down into his chest. Right to left, he can move his head just fine. There's no issues there. And then he's got a really nice tilt to his head. So perfect. Shoulders, he's able to get his arms just barely above his shoulders, which is awesome. Full rotation of that arm, and then he's got a butterfly joint, which allows him to bring his arms in a decent amount, not a huge amount, but still he can actually clap. And then he is able to move his arms back really, really far, which is really great. You're gonna love that range of motion. In his torso, he's got a hinge joint, which allows him to crunch forward that much and crunch back that much. He's got a waist swivel, which works really, really well. In his hips, he's got T-jointed hip joints, and still the Pizza Spidey issues with those hip joints. He can barely do the splits, which we really needed more for Spider-Man, and we need a little bit more for Electro. But he's able to kick forward really, really well and get that leg up above the hips, which is awesome. Moving back, not much for backwards kick. That we need a little bit more. There's an upper thigh cut, works really good. Double jointed knees. Let's see if I can get that. He is able to get his knees, if I can get it to pop, there we go. Get those knees all the way bent in half, and then down into the ankles there is a hinge joint which allows his foot to move back all the way, and he's got pretty good forward motion, which I'm really happy with. And then obviously he's got a, well, maybe not obvious, but he's got an ankle rocker, which works very, very well. So I'm really, really happy overall with the articulation on this figure. There's nothing too much to complain about. Yes, it'd be nice to be able to get a little bit more out of the hips, but all in all, I'm pretty satisfied. Alright, moving into the sculpt and the paint work on this figure, and I really think that Hasbro knocked this one out of the park. I think they did a great job. We're going to take a look at his head, this first head, and I think they did a really, really nice job with this. The details, the grimace, the paint, it's all pretty clean, and the actual gray area, that's actually sculpted into his head. You can see they missed a little bit of the actual raised sculpt with that gray paint, but they still did a really, really nice job. Moving down into the torso, the actual lightning bolts, they did pretty well. They got those painted nice and clean. There is a little bit of green kind of pushing through on his neck and shoulder area, but that's nothing too serious. Like I said, the paint is fairly clean. You can see there's a little bit of missing paint on that bolt there, but overall I'm really happy with the way they painted the lines. Those are nice and clean. I really love these hands. Just kind of a really nice, I like the translucent plastic, the bluish. It just really looks really, really nice. I like that they're kind of soft too. And I like the legs and the feet that they used for this figure. The yellow lines on the shins, a little bit messy, but not too bad. So overall, I'm really, really happy with this body mold. Very, very happy with the choices that they made. And the paint work, pretty darn good. You know, there could be some places for shading, obviously, to make it a little bit better, but overall, I'm really satisfied with how this figure turned out. Alrighty, last but not least, we got to talk accessories. And Electro doesn't really come with much for accessories, but he does come with an alternate head. You saw the one that I just popped off here, but I really want to show you this comic book one. I really, really like this head. It's really, really cool. I like that the little plastic bolts are kind of soft, so it does bend when you try to articulate. There's a little thing on his chin, but the back, there's nothing really all that interesting, just black. It is a little messy around the edges, but that's okay. You're probably not going to be looking at him from the back too much anyway. But I just really like the way that this head, if I can get him to pop onto that ball there. There we go. All right, I just like the way that this looks. It just looks really, really cool. Get this thing to focus here. Yeah, so that is an awesome head. I think that they just did a really good job. You can see I can get that over his shoulder a little bit. Perfect. Nothing to complain about. And I like this other head too. We'll take a closer look. We already looked at it a little bit, but I really like this head. I like the eyes. I like the way that turned out. It looks super cool. Nice grimace. Just kind of a nasty looking face. So I'm super happy with the way that both of these heads turned out. All right, so the one thing that I do wish, and I already noted, I really like these hands. I wish that we had some alternate hands. So I have taken it upon myself to give my Electro some alternate hands. I pulled from the Allfather wave the white Iron Fist. I grabbed a couple of his hands, and they fit perfectly in here. So if you're wanting to have an Electro that's not necessarily shooting electricity all the time, you can go ahead and grab the extra hands from your Iron Fist, and they actually work pretty darn well, I think. So you got some options there. It's unfortunate that Hasbro didn't provide that for us, but that's okay. So I hope this review was useful and helpful. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want more, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Tetris Brain Blast.